Were you one of those, because I'll testify, that Monday you was going to start it, the next diet, and then on the first of the month you was going to start, and then when in the first of the month came, well, you really had to wait till that Monday, but there was always going to be a diet started next week?
Something like that. I think probably even worse was this. Start out the beginning of the day, I'm not going to eat. Okay, which is probably the worst thing you can do. I mean, I tell people all the time, eat breakfast, eat healthy stuff before you get too hungry. So rather than saying next month I'm going to start, I was like, today I'm not going to eat. Period. Right. Well, you know, then by the end of the day, it's, trying to shove everything you can in your mouth.
End of the day is,
Right.
Tell me what R was. What was that?
For me, pizza. Okay. In Chicago, deep dish pizza. Pizza's, several inches deep. And guess what? You can now call up, or today you can go online, right? www.senditover.
Yeah.
Right? And you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Right? It just shows up. Right? There
so
you go.
give me an example, and I'll give you one of mine if you like.
Right.
But give me an example of sort of, one of your best, worst days. And by that, I mean, whatever the stress was, that had you where you were jonesing.
Right.
And you're going to satisfy this Jones, and you consumed what? What was one of your biggest consumptions that you can remember?
I can just think about going down to the hospital cafeteria and getting, 3 scrambled eggs with 3 sausage. That would kind of be my 11 o'clock thing, couple of Haagen-Dazs in between cases. The other bad thing about a hospital, this is changing some now, is you're captive. I say being in the OR is like being in Vegas.
Yeah.
There are no windows, the lights are always on, things are always busy, and they're pumping oxygen in.
Right.
All right? You can't leave that often. So the people who sell the equipment and the drugs and stuff know that, and they bring food in.
Some of the worst food.
Some of the worst food. So every time you walk by, the ortho people brought this. These people brought that. Yeah, come on in, we got this. And, unless you make plans. I used to kid one of the guys I worked with. I said, you bring this little paper bag with your sandwich in every day. We probably save a couple $100,000 over a career by doing that, buying food. But also he's like, I got to bring this food with me because otherwise I'm going to eat whatever they put in front of me.
Right.
And a lot of us have work environments like that. So, what's the worst? I would say was that pizza at night, that big deep dish pizza that I would call and say, well, I'll have some today, and then I'll have some tomorrow for lunch, and somehow it would not make it
wouldn't make it through the night.
Wouldn't make it through
You'd play that Gladys Knight song, help me make it through the night. Right. And you had to wash it down with something.
This is a funny thing. I liked to drink grapefruit juice. Now, most people say grapefruit juice is bitter. I loved it. I drank a lot of it. It's full of sugar. I mean, people talk about the grapefruit diet. People talk about the grapefruit diet. Anything in excess, right? It's like I would drink, a half gallon of grapefruit juice every day. So that's what I would wash.
That you got off the shelf, not that you were sitting there squeezing.
Right. Listen, if you eat a grapefruit, right, that's not bad. That's good for you.
Right.
And you got to work and you get all the fibers. When you go to the store and you get that stuff that's been processed and there's no way I could eat, in that grapefruit juice, there was probably, 12 grapefruits that went into making. There's no way I could sit there and eat 12 grapefruits, but I could sure sit there, go, and drink the juice. That's one of the things I say to people: eat the fruit. Try to stay away from the juice.
Just stay away from the juice that you get from the store.
Yeah.
Right.